The competition among columnists to open the paper and figure out, did I just get beaten by somebody as a columnist?
You started as a beat writer. You were competing against most of these same people all the way up. So from 22 years old, when a lot of us got out of our internships into full-time gigs, and you were covering the same things. You were all at a Sugar Ray Leonard fight or then a Mike Tyson fight. And so you could all read the way 26 people wrote about Mike Tyson biting off Evander Holyfield's ear and spitting it out. You could read every one of those the next day and have a sense of who did a better job, who was more eloquent, who was more forceful, who was more influential, who was more passionate, who had details that somebody else didn't have because they waited and they talked to Mike in a parking lot at 2 a.m. and rewrote. For decades on everything. You had it on Carl Lewis and whether he hated Ben Johnson even though he ultimately won the race. You had it on Martina Navratilova and Chris Everett and whether they really liked each other or not. You had it on everything. You had it on Michael Jordan and the Bad Boy Pistons. You covered everything. I'm sitting there with 25 other dudes writing about Holyfield's ear rolling across the mat at me, and I wanted to compare those. And in that moment, it wasn't could you go out and get some other story, it was could you get this story? Could you do this one better? Could you tell it in a way that would keep 80-year-old men by the fireplace or in the barbershop or at the gas station?
I have later in life lost some of the value that I used to have in being competitive, and however it is that competitive masked my insecurities back when I was coming up. I was not good at news breaking competitive. I remember sobbing in a Miami Herald bathroom at midnight because I wanted to be telling stories. I didn't want to be chasing where the Marlins spring training complex would be. But later on, when it became writing stories, I wanted to beat Mitch Albom at whatever the things were that got you awards. But I will tell you where and when, because I remember it, some of this got knocked out of me because at PTI, Skip Bayless runs into one of your dressing rooms and hides because he doesn't want me to see what his arguments are on the show. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to be this kind of competitive. I don't want to play the game this way. I'd rather just put on a policeman's cap and talk to a mailbox and see if I can ruin this game instead of winning this argument. But only because you guys existed could I zig while you guys were zagging, because you guys had to establish the bit that these arguments matter.
I wasn't interested in zigging when people zagged. I wanted to compare everybody's zig. I didn't give a shit about zagging.
I cannot relate less to just loving zigs.